I'm Michael Damiani, and I finished Cobra Kai Season 5.
I am Michael Huber, and I have finished Cobra Kai Season 5.
This is your final warning. Spoiler mode begins now.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode, activated.
Hey everyone, Damiani here, joined by Huber. Once again, back to talk about the bad boys of karate.
Back in the dojo.
Back in the dojo. Training is back in session as we lead to the showdown, potential showdown with Terry Silver.
So intense.
Season 5, Cobra Kai in the books, and so many things to talk about.
So much to unpack
but
here.
I'm with Michael Huber, so I've got a question for him.
Yeah,
it's the thing on my mind.
Let's hear it.
I want to know, how did you feel about bad boy Mike Barnes' utilization in this season? How did you feel about it?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Just enough, came in early, disappeared for a bit, then came in to wrap it up at the end. Because they kind of did the same with Chosen when he kind of came in season 2 for a little bit, and then later on, comes back later to better results. I like when they kind of come for a little bit, disappear, and then come back triumphantly.
There's definitely a formula there. Yeah. It definitely feels like Barnes will be a bigger factor in season 6 because, as you said, meet him early on. The misunderstanding between him and Daniel.
We're on the same side.
Yeah, that was really nice to see. Like, he moved on and stuff. Like, he realized he was kind of like an asshole, but like still had that side of him when he needed to tap into it. But again, this villain, Terry Silver,
dude,
even like taking Mike Barnes out of the game pretty early.
Yeah.
By like, you really see what he's capable of this season. Yeah. You thought he was being like cruel to the students by manipulating them, and the furthest it would go is like to frame Reese for the assault, and it's like, okay, that's it. That's as far as he's gonna go. He won't go past that. And it's like, no, he has some, not him himself, but has some of his associates burn down Mike Barnes,
dude.
Like sending a message. Like, is this Breaking Bad all of a sudden? Like,
it was so. I know I always troll, but it was so Akatsuki, dude. Yeah. Guy's got the eye patch.
Okay,
Guy's got like the bleached hair,
okay, so
dude.
This season introduced Terry Silver's senseis. So Cobra Kai is expanding. He needs more senseis. He also brings in the daughter or granddaughter of his former master, I think his daughter, that taught him his way of fighting.
So
and he wants to bring that to the world. And when they introduced those senseis, man, it was like, this is like, it's called one of the best live action animes. This cements it, like they're going full anime right now.
Full anime.
Eye patch dude, just like his taunts and stuff. It's like when they fight, it's like, man, like the spiky hair.
The bleached hair guy, dude. They like 2-on-1 was so sick.
Dude.
Like Jackie Chan vibes there, man. Who am I? It's awesome.
But Mike Barnes, coming in at the end to help out.
Definitely.
Good stakes at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. Extreme. This season got violent and intense, dude. Like a lot more F-bombs than usual. Fighting to the death.
Dude,
some blood in there a little bit. Like this season was the most like geared towards the R rating, I feel like. Which felt natural though, there was just like a really nice escalation of stakes, Damiani, if you go all the way back to season 1. But even ignoring that, just in this season, like you said, burning down Mike Barnes' place, and then just the slow escalation, eventually leading to a home invasion, like fighting to the death. So I really liked the stakes. It was a little over the top, of course, but the anime vibes and just the goodwill that this show has earned over the years made it great, made it awesome. Like I saw a couple people like, oh, it's a little over the top, but like it earns that, and I feel like it just all worked. It all worked for me.
I think it's established its formula. It sticks to its rules. So I think as long as it keeps adhering to that, I think it's fine. It works for me, including I don't mind when they like rub it in your face. They do this, like, it's so anime. It's so, like, shonen. But, like, whenever there's, like, a crucial fight, the flashbacks. So, like, the movie things are great as well. But also, like, the flashbacks are other things. Like, when Robbie and oh, my gosh. Miguel, thank you. I was about to say Diaz. Like, no, it's his last name, man. Miguel. When Robbie and Miguel are like, when Johnny lets them fight it out. And it gets to the flashback of, like, is he got an attention? But, like.
That one works.
Like, like an artistic movie would not show those flashbacks. It's like you should draw the conclusion for yourself. But like, this is anime. Like, no, we got to make sure in the moment because we want you to feel it. And I'm like, I don't care. I like that. I was like, you know what? Keep doing that. Totally. So every time they do stuff like that, but like
I thought Miguel was gonna kick him off, dude.
That's the thing. Yeah, like at least you didn't forget. It's like, I mean, I think anyone would have thought there's a chance one of them's gonna get knocked off, but like maybe you forgot. That's how Miguel got hurt, and like he's gonna reverse do it. And Johnny was like, no, this is a good idea, but it's like, oh shit, what if they get hurt, man? This was a bad idea, like, but like part of like the growing pains and like that, speaking of Johnny, really like that about his character, reality of like not wanting to mess up again, like having a baby on the way. Like he's still trying to do right by both Miguel and Robbie, but at the same time, he like from the start wants to get this new child right, wants to have this family work, and seeing him become like a bigger person and maturing. Like when
so nice.
when what's her face comes over the X to see his apartment after he's like redone it and stuff. Like it's not like a bachelor pad anymore. And then him when Daniel comes over, when Daniel's at his lowest point, because Daniel goes, we'll get into it. He goes through a lot of shit, probably at his lowest point ever. And Johnny has to give him like the heart to heart, like, be an adult Tark.
So nice.
And Daniel's like, wow, you really it was a pretty good moment.
Totally. Yeah. Johnny just fully growing up and trying to just have that family with everyone and being the bridge between Miguel and Robbie's reconciliation, I thought was so heartwarming. Like them putting their differences aside. And then Carmen this season was awesome. Just the whole family unit was so good.
Yeah, I think it was really well done. Even like the trip to Mexico, like a little bit of like, this is like a Johnny specialty here. But also like seeing like
English? Australian. Good enough. It's like
that's like, oh god, like Robbie clearly picking up on like, all right, we're not like my dad's dumb, but like also I don't think he's really just here for like a bonding thing. It's like and he finds out, I'm here also to help Miguel, but he's like honest with him. He's like, listen, like I need to get him. I need to do this, but like I still want to fix this. But also, we had a little bit about Miguel and his like real father. That was
a couple gringos here. I think they're in the FBI. They come out with the FBI shirts.
that was pretty good. But yeah, seeing like Miguel thinking his dad's his darling, and then like getting the like rug pulled out from under him, seeing like his true nature, and like understanding like this is why your mom left. This is why he never told you. She never told him about you, and like he understood.
Good intro arc. Carrying over, kind of like an epilogue from last season, if you will, carrying over. It's funny when last season ended, you think, well, I thought like, oh, that's going to be like a huge part of the season, Miguel in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, how long are they going to do?
Little 2-episode little thing. That was it. They got me for a second where I was like, oh, like this guy's super chill. And then I was like, wait a sec. Not everything's as it seems here. Like something's going on.
There were some questions he asked early on. I'm like, why is he asking those? Like, and then you see why, because like you're trying to feel him out to make sure like you're a stranger, but like I gotta make sure you're cool and stuff, and like cool in the way like I might have some shady dealings. I gotta make sure you're not like, why'd you come here? Like who sent you? Like who you working with? Like okay.
Do you think there's unfinished business there, or do you think that wrapped it up and Miguel is done?
I don't think I think Miguel's done with that. I think with what's going on with Johnny and the baby, I think it's pretty much like the only thing that could happen is like if they want to reintroduce the dad discovering stuff and wanting to get it. But like honestly, from like a logical perspective with his business dealings, why does he want to deal with any of that? Like no, like forget that. Like not worth it and stuff.
Some random kid, blah blah blah. Like,
I think it was just like a early beat for them because it's where we left off. Same thing with like with Terry Silver and like John Kreese.
Yeah.
Like that's where we start off with John Kreese in jail with the My Way.
So out of control.
They were going like, they're going really hard in on that. We're like high art right now.
Kreese, Kreese for me this whole series has been a little mixed, mostly mostly positive, a little bit mixed throughout, ups and downs where I'm like really invested and then not so much invested. I did like him in prison trying to mentor Tori. I like the Kreese and the Tori vibe. I've always liked that connection. But we'll get into it once we get near the end of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say about Kreese is like I think they're trying their hardest to paint him as like a sympathetic villain. Like he's still a horrible person.
I
but
loved
like,
how they got the young Kreese in there. I love when they get young Kreese and Silver. Those guys are great.
To be a fold to Terry, where Terry is like, this dude is just unhinged. Like he is really like evil. Yeah. Like he has no like redeeming thing. Whereas Kreese sometimes like. He's doing evil stuff, but in his heart, he believes he's doing it for a good reason. And it's not like, and he has some heart to heart, but like the same time, he's very smart. Yeah. And you like see how he plays out. Like he was kind of using some of that to kind of manipulate things. Yeah. I don't think it wasn't manipulating Tori, but like everything else about his like eventual.
Yeah, his Joker moment. Let's just talk about that. His Joker moment.
Well, because Kreese is not so much in this season, so like it's. Maybe we can just wrap it up.
You're definitely setting him up for like the final boss. It feels like in a way. I feel like, dude, this season was a 10 out of 10, but I feel like that final scene with him was like. It should have been a post-credit scene. I feel like I'm not, whatever MCU post-credit scene. Blah, blah. That's beside the point. I feel like this season was so phenomenal that final note just kind of like it didn't hit as hard as I think they were expecting it to, and it would have made much more sense because it was kind of disconnected from everything. So it was like we had all this huge fight and like everyone kind of coming together in this great moment, ending on that would have been awesome. But then it's like, all right, this ridiculous, like, Kreese breakout, dude. He's just, like, walking out, like, my way. Yeah. The lore of that song is, like, it's so self-indulgent. Like, Frank Sinatra, is, like, one of his least favorite songs. It was so self-indulgent, he always said. So it was just, like, a weird note to end on. I would have liked that to have been post-credits. I think it would have hit harder. Yeah. It made a lot more sense.
I think... The thing is how if they can stick the landing with Kreese is my biggest question. Yeah. Because Silver kind of like outshone in terms of like sheer like, fright and terror in scope. I think Kreese is smaller scale. I think he's very like evil, but like I don't think he had care about like going global and stuff like that. He wanted to be like big, but like I think Silver's on a whole different level than him in terms of those types of motivations. Yeah. But clearly it's setting up a showdown between him and Daniel and Johnny. Yeah. Because, I mean, they antagonized him in jail. Like, they told him, we're going to help you out.
No
and like,
mercy, fuck you, no mercy.
Yeah, no mercy, motherfucker.
So good.
It's like, so like, there's clearly a history there. It has to end some way. So, like, they're setting up for that. But, I mean, the way Silver was just, like, tormenting this season, it's like, I don't really know what else is like with like what I hope they have a good plan for Kreese. Yeah. Because what Silver did this season was I felt it was like pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
tearing down
Thomas
everyone.
Ian Griffith crushing it, like such a good villain this season. I think the best villain of a season the show has ever done, no question. And remember back in the day when we talked I don't remember which season that was before, but I rewatched all the movies and everything. I love part 3, and this really leaned into Karate Kid part 3. Oh, yeah. Silver and the Mike Barnes and all that.
And Daniel's love interest from 3, like that's where his wife, you find out that's who introduced him to his wife, Amanda.
That was a great connection.
Yeah, they go like because they take a break from like when Daniel and Amanda have the falling out because of Terry. She takes the kids to her home.
That was fantastic.
Ohio because they had Ohio State flags flying there. And you meet I forget her name, but like she's there. And
that was so great. I'm so glad you reminded me of that. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That was great, Damiani.
So, I mean, but like, that was another 3. She told Amanda about like, drove a wedge between him, Daniel, and Mr. Miyagi, like was tormenting him when he was a teenager. Like, this is like, she was like, I need you to understand how evil, how bad this Terry Silver guy is. Like Daniel, I know he had stuff with Kreese, but like Daniel's not overreacting here. And I kind of like that, like after getting that like wake up call saying like, you're being played. Like, I know you had a bad moment where like Daniel got played and ruined something you wanted, like you wanted a position on the board, but
this guy's intense.
Understand this is all part of his plan, and like he wants you to do this. Like he doesn't want you to have that support because he knows from the third film that's it. Like driving a wedge between Miyagi and him, that's the thing. That's his strategy. Because if they're unified, that was Chosen's message. It's like what like his counter theme to this, his counterfold to Terry was that Terry's about division, fighting against, whereas Miyagi-Do was fighting for, Chosen fighting for, like unifying, like protect the egg and stuff. I was like, like
that was my favorite scene, Damiani. Like Chosen training them in that episode. My
it was like Kakashi going trolling, dude. It was such a nod. Like when they're like kids in Naruto, when they think they're so smart, and Kakashi just easily, they like knew it. It was so good. It was so good. It was such a nod.
Love to hear itself sing. You sing lonely song. Now you are dead. It's like, so legendary, dude. Chosen this season, no question, MVP. Just had me doing belly laughs all the time. Had the sickest fights. Had words of wisdom. Just incredible. Incredible showing from Chosen.
It felt like in the pecking order, Chosen was like their top gun, basically. Because dude, you see Terry and Daniel go head to head once. Daniel loses. Johnny also technically wasn't able to overcome him when they like earlier on. It's like no one's been able to like physically stand up to him, but it's like, wait a second, Chosen is like like he's this badass, and maybe he's able to stand up to him, and we even get like that epic fight between them, which he wins, except for the old distraction thing. And it's like that's what got him, but like technically using his Raphael size versus Leonardo with I was like, dude, it's a Ninja Turtle it's Leo versus Raphnod right there.
Poor guy, dude, full Foot Clan.
Yeah, dude.
Like, seriously, Seriously, I was nervous. I was like, yo, is Chosen gonna die right here?
Dude, yeah.
Is Chosen are they gonna kill him and just like solidify the stakes being like just life or death? But he lived. Thank goodness.
They really did a good thing, because I was totally expecting in that reveal when they show up to tell everyone about like when Silver's there and stuff. I was like, I'm expecting like someone to give them the bad news, like Johnny shows up, but like where's Chosen, like, and he shakes his head or something.
Dude, I
was like best case, I was like, we're going to the hospital, he's like in a coma or something. And he just walks out. I was like, okay, they pulled a Last Action Hero, just a flesh wound. I'm like, it's the movies. It's fine. Just a lot of blood. We gotta get you in. It's like
laying in the blood, dude. Fighting on the water.
It was like a Kill Bill style fight. Like they walk in the water. I'm like, okay.
I was waiting for it to start to rain, dude. I was like,
lightning and thunder starts coming in the middle of LA. It's like, let's go. It was that over the top, a little over top, but like enjoyed every moment of it.
They saved that over the topness for the end. I really feel like it earned that.
The dojo fight was also a little bit like that too, I felt. So at the same time, towards the end, essentially after a night of partying, Mike Barnes, how he reintroduces himself is he steals the limo that they were all partying in, the adults, and takes the Amanda and Carmen left, obviously, to go back home, and Johnny and Chosen and Daniel are just having a good time in their limo. Pull over, Mike Barnes is like angry and stuff, and they're like, I'm gonna go, it's Silver, you know what? I'm gonna go end this right now. And Johnny's like, dude, you're speaking my language.
Let's go kick his ass.
And like they're all,
yo, bad boy speaking my language.
They're a little under the influence there, and Daniel's the only one who's like, maybe this isn't a great idea and stuff, and they run off to go do that.
Chosen, help me out.
So I
know Silver's address.
Yeah, that was So they're going to, like, they said this is why it's a good idea because Silver will never expect it coming, hitting us on his home turf, which is great because when Silver shows up at his dojo after that encounter to be like, kind of like boast, I survived. He's like, you came to my home turf. Like, he's like angry. He's like, he can't, he's good at hiding his emotion, but that time he's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you screwed, like, you, how dare you?
Yeah.
And you're going to pay.
Like, gnarly line across.
But meanwhile, the students have their own plan. They want to destroy Cobra Kai, taken down by exposing Silver for doing illegal activities. Yeah. So they go to the dojo to find this video of him assaulting Stingray.
Great little plot line. Stingray hype.
Dude. Okay, so Stingray, all he wanted to do was like be like his story about the monk story when he uses D&D campaign to retell like his like pain. I was like, okay, this like that's hard.
Side note, it is so crazy how so many mass media properties now throw in role playing.
Oh yeah.
I just took a note of that, you know. It's something I've been noticing over the years that it's like mainstream now, you know? D&D campaign, super main, just a note.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a nice setup. Basically, it leads to the students wanting to expose that Terry Silver actually beat the shit out of Stingray and framed Terry Creese for John Creese for it. Sorry.
Yeah.
And they go to try and get that video, and that's where things go, like, kind of like go to shit because the Cobra Kai people.
Well, I like that Stingray was like scared.
Oh yeah,
to, like turn on him.
Yeah, like
and
Daniel,
Sam is just like fed up.
Yeah.
Because freaking Tori came and was like, "Yo, I didn't win this fight." So they are trying to figure that out, trying to get that footage.
We have like this was also a good thing about like the like mending broken fences because we already talked about the Robbie and
Miguel.
Sorry. Yeah. Robbie and Miguel mending their kind of like beef.
Yeah.
Fighting it out. They're good. And like that's like good. It's like, okay, great. We're seeing these team ups. This is like and like Shonen. It's like we're waiting.
Goku and Vegeta.
So now it's like, so like the Tori and Amanda. It's like, all right, well, they have a beef and like the whole season you're like, she knows the truth. She wants desperately to say something, but like Kreese has been coaching her, like, wait, stay infiltrated. But then he backs off of that idea because he's like, that's not going to work. He's going to see it coming. And then she does go to Amanda. And then Amanda, like,
Samantha.
I keep saying Amanda. Samantha.
We know.
And Samantha, like, goes to visit her too.
Yeah.
And what her mom already knew, and her mom tried to hint at her in previous seasons, like, Tori might have a different situation than you. Maybe you should try and understand her.
Damiani, dude. Yes. Okay, this show is so fun and over the top and anime, but they hit these real world life themes so poignantly. You know, Sam takes just a second. Like, I'm getting emotional because I feel like this is eroding from our society, this empathy, right? She just takes a second to put herself in Tori's shoes. She goes to her house and she just looks around and it's just a mess everywhere. Tori is clearly a mess. Her hand is fucked up. She looks in the back and her like mom is on a ventilator back there, like just seeing how hard Tori's situation is. And then she's like, okay, like she has it hard. Like, let me hear her out. Let me, let me just see it from her perspective. So I just thought that was such a powerful scene after, all the buildup, all the pain they've caused each other. And it was such a natural and heartfelt, mending of the fence.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah, I think it was well done. And it was nice to see them like kind of like unified on that. Yeah. I think it was also nice to try and give Tori more authority, and autonomy, because a lot of her arc had involved other people trying to step in to help her.
Yeah.
And I think she personally had an issue with that because it was seeing like with all she has to deal with, it's like you're treating like saying I'm not capable. You're like treating me as lesser.
Yeah.
And already have all this shit going on. So her finally taking the initiative to do that, like when basically Kreese kind of tells her that because he realizes like this isn't helping her. Like he's like, make your own choice.
Yeah.
Like do what you want to do. Because like I think that's the one moment Kreese is being honest with her. He's
I actually liked
He's like, he goes,
I was pissed. I was like, you're being so mean. Oh wait, okay.
Because like Kreese is like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and like you're not gonna be involved in this, and like you need to do what you do because like I think he does actually care about her because like he saw her situation firsthand as well, and it's like same thing with like Amanda, seeing her situation. They're like, we care about you, but at the same time, I think Kreese understood it's like you'll never feel whole unless you're able to deal with this in some way on your own terms.
Yeah.
And I think that was like pretty good seeing that like her and Robbie both confronting Cobra Kai at the end and like saying, no, Silver's bad. You've been lied to. And like some of them like not believing it, and then the video cementing the evidence. It's like I think once that video showed, after having Robbie and Tori tell them like these two idols that everyone looked up to, it was like, oh, like Kenny looked up to like Robbie so much, and Devin, she looked up to Tori so much. It's like they were angry at first, now they're like, oh, I get it, like they weren't lying and stuff. So it was really, really cool to see how powerful it was, that how much influence they had over that scene when they all like tossed the geese back at Terry in disgrace. Yeah,
just a giant brawl at the end at Cobra Kai.
They always have the students, the big brawls, man. It has to happen.
Yeah.
They had the water park one earlier where it was like a mini, like they had to avoid it, and they did like the water ride.
Dude, Kenny this season.
Yo.
So intense. Like, hyping him up as freaking Gohan, dude. Like, gonna be stronger than freaking everybody. Just taking people out. You know, the learning like the 5-point palm exploding heart technique.
It was like when Naruto masters Rasengan like really fast. I was like, yo, he just mastered it in like one day. Yo, let's go.
I know. Yeah, dude, just using it on Robbie.
Yeah, like and like dreading that moment, but.
And Hawk too. He used it on Hawk too. Took them both down with it.
Liked yeah. I mean, I liked how Hawk has matured.
Yeah.
He like actually like thinks things through. He understands what things really mean, and going into the decision about like when, which was great because that's how they all felt as well. Going with Miguel and Robbie, telling him like, we're okay with you fighting in our place because like it's only fair. Like Robbie's like, I lost, Miguel backed out, you actually won. Let's give you a chance.
That was great.
Really like that.
Really good scene. And then Hawk as well being kind of rude to Robbie at first.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yo, you beat me up, you trashed this place, like it was the same for you, and now you're here. And he's like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
you know?
Like it's good to see that like the characters are actually like growing and learning, and not just being in like, you know, in repeat mode, like, you know, just one dimensional, doing the same things over and over again.
Yes.
Which does leave me some questions about where we go from here. We still have more to talk about, but like real quick, like this is why I was worried about like what they're gonna do with Kreese, because all the students are like unified now, like Cobra Kai's students and Miyagi-Do. There might be some tension, but like they're not gonna fight for Cobra Kai again. So it's like, where's Kreese? You could start Cobra Kai, but it's, like, it's ruined.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? And two, a lot of these characters, hopefully. I don't know how far they want to take this show. I just don't know how much further they can go beyond next season.
I'm hoping just one more.
Yeah, because
honestly.
like a lot of these characters' arcs are kind of like gone as far as I think they're to go within this time frame.
Yeah.
Like we need to do a time skip or something if you really want to do something like it go a new direction with them. But I mean, yeah, we're rapidly approaching
the end game.
Yeah, the end.
Talking about anime vibes, Damiani. World Tournament, dude.
That's what's on the table.
When they said World Tournament, my jaw dropped. I was like, what? Like, never expected it. Out of nowhere. Didn't think they would do anything like that. You know, I always thought it was about the All Valley. It's like, yo, Takai, Saikai, or whatever the hell it's called.
I'm curious if that will be the major plot point, or if they might just do like a small time skip, like, oh, it happened, and like we
I hope not.
Yeah, because like otherwise, if it is the main plot point, I think that's where the antagonists have to show up. Like,
So, Damiani, there's a couple things.
Okay.
Couple things on the table. First up, they have said a movie is coming out.
It's not related to this whatsoever.
Is that confirmed or unconfirmed?
100% confirmed that it's not related.
Different universe? Is it like a Jackie Chan Karate Kid, or is it...
They've not said if it's related to that.
Yeah.
All they've said it's not related to the show.
Okay. But it could be in the same universe, just unrelated.
Apparently the comments are inferred as it will be in the same universe, just not dealing with the cast. So none of the main cast.
So
it's set somewhere else and it's in the same universe, but like it's a different story.
I heard Johnny talk about a trilogy of movies. I've heard LaRusso say, legitimately, he said the words Karate Kid Cinematic Universe. I've heard the word spin-off being thrown around. I mean, we live in this era. This is Netflix. Like, obviously, they're going to keep this going. But I hope the mothership show has the restraint and goes Breaking Bad style and dips out when it needs to. Like, one more season. 2, I feel like, would be the absolute limit. But I feel like ending at the world stage with the world tournament, just one more, and this show can solidify itself as one of the greats.
I feel like the most I would like them to go is like make it a 2-parter season, where like season 6 part 1 is like
great
in 1 year, and then they wait. No, I don't know if you saw the news. I wasn't just making that quote up. I was quoting someone. I didn't give you the source, but. The creators of the show, they're working on another show right now. So the next season of Cobra Kai will not probably come out next year. It'll probably
be a bit.
2024.
Yeah.
Late next year to 2024 at the earliest.
Because this one took less than a year. We had December and October.
Yeah, they've been really quick.
That was great.
I feel like they're prepping you for like at least a year out.
Yeah.
At least a year out. It was what it sounds like. And it might give them more. Yeah, it might give them more time.
Yeah.
They take the time. So maybe 2024 is like spring part 1, fall part 2, or summer part 2, and do like 6 and 6. They want to do 7 and 7, but each 8 and 8. I think each season's been 10 episodes. So it's like. You could
love it.
I'm good with that.
I love that, Damiani. World tournament, dude. Let's go. Think about all the freaking anime villains that are gonna be in the world tournament, dude. Freaking Piccolo. Who's gonna be the Piccolo? It's like, let's go, dude.
They want their tournament of power.
Yes, I'm so ready for that. Like, I've never been more hyped than a world tournament.
Is there anyone else? So there's really only one major character left I can think of that hasn't been involved in the show.
Yep, that was another thing we were going to discuss.
And I don't know if they
Avengers Assemble.
I don't know if they have the sway to get her.
They do.
Okay, you think they do?
They do.
Thought she might be a little too high.
No.
Two-time. It'd have to be
two-time Academy Award winner.
Yeah, I think it's her choice. Like, if she wants to do it, they'll let her.
The newest.
They'll be glad to have her do it
because they got Elizabeth Shue. They've gotten everybody else. It is universally critically acclaimed and fan acclaimed. Like, Brad does not watch this show, so every time I talk to him about it, he goes, dude, it's really crazy. I've never heard one person say one bad thing about Cobra Kai. Like, literally. Not one. Like, everyone loves it. It's just universally beloved.
Yeah.
So the thing I heard, Damiani, she's doing her press tour for Daily Alaska. It's her new show coming out.
Yeah.
And they asked her about it. And she's like, with a laugh, she said, I'm only allowed to talk about Daily Alaska today, so we'll see. They've asked her about it, and she's very cagey about it.
Okay.
Obviously, one of the most high-profile actors, like, two-time Academy Award winner. Insane. Like, that is rare, rarefied air up there.
Perfect. Save the best for last, if this will be potentially the last season.
It would be phenomenal getting all of them together, because it is a big missing link. I mean, she was the star of her own Karate Kid movie, and had an intimate bond with Miyagi.
Yeah, their parents being father being a friend of Miyagi,
huge
from the war.
There.
Yeah, it's
and they LaRusso referenced her. I feel like in season 1 or 2 back then, offhandedly.
Something about when I think they were talking about Miyagi's students, and he goes, "I was there's one other or something."
Yeah, there was a small.
There was definitely a reference to it, if I remember.
Yeah. So I really hope they get her, dude. Really, really, really. Yeah, that would be. It honestly would be a little disappointing if they left her.
Yeah, even if it's just a 1 episode cameo, she shows up for something. We gotta have that.
Gotta have her.
Work her in somehow.
And we gotta have the song that you always talk about that they haven't done.
Oh, the best around?
The best around. Yeah, they gotta have it, dude. World tournament, dude.
The montage.
Time.
Okay.
Yep.
It's time for them. Yeah. They're saving it for that.
Yes.
They're absolutely saving it.
Yes.
I'd like to see maybe Chosen and Kumiko like that revelation that like he's still like he just feels like shame, but like she clearly still cares about him, and he like doesn't quite like. Daniel and Johnny are like trying, like Johnny specifically is like
great scene in the
club.
Like, you got anyone special?
Like you do, dude. You just don't like maybe try. Maybe she'll say no, but like it sounds like you need to like say something at least and see where that goes. So like
that I felt that scene so fucking hard. Damiani of Chosen just being like, yo, you have friends and family. Like I've always wanted that.
Yeah.
You know, it was so good. Those quiet moments that just hit Damiani.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff. I also got to say, love this movie. The show has so many nods to great things.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah.
Top Gun, The Dream.
Yeah.
The dream sequence for Top Gun. And then for Huber, absolutely maximum Huber bait.
Yes.
When Stingray shows up in this car where Daniel is in the middle of nowhere trying to get a ride from this truck guy, and then like Daniel's kind of like demands it and pushes his luck, and then like his friends show up, like get out of the car, and it's like, great, another fight. And then Stingray shows up and goes, Mr. LaRusso, come with me if you want to live.
I busted off, dude. Stingray.
Moment I heard that, I was like slack to Huber. I was like, come with me, you want to live.
Stingray's so great. Like, talk about making the most of your scenes, man. I mean, Stingray is barely in this and just has such big impact.
Yeah.
So.
Gotta say, a little maybe they were sending a message about the current state of like shortages, but PlayStation 4s? PS4s?
Yeah.
Like, hook it, like, Stingray's supposed to be hooked up
Yeah.
with all these benefits. And he's
Where's the PS5?
Yo, Silver
Stingray?
only giving him a PS4. That's why he flipped, man. He
Yeah.
totally went back and turned on him. He didn't give him a PS5. Like, what the hell, man?
My thought was like...
And then that's why he didn't give Daniel, like, info, because Daniel always shows up with a PS4 to replace the broken one. Like, yo, he couldn't get me a PS5? What's up?
My thought was like, these... Oh, it's like, it just reminded me of being a kid when like grandparents and shit like have no idea about video games and they get you the wrong thing. It's just like,
I also think there's like outside of our kind of like bubble, like there are just people who like have last gen systems for way longer. As long as games are still coming out of them, they don't feel a need to like, it's that one game series or whatever they love buying when it's like it's no longer on that system. It's like, oh, time to buy a new one.
And then they had at the pawn shop the PS1 in the back.
Oh.
Maybe even a 2. There was a PS1 there when Johnny went to the pawn shop. Oh my God, when Johnny was the Uber driver, dude.
Okay, yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was him trying to get a gig.
Dying of like such a funny season, dude. Maybe like there was like a little less humor than maybe past seasons, I feel like, but when they had humor, it was the funniest like it's ever been.
Oh,
just blown away. Because again, this season did get dark and serious. You know, I would call this season rated R.
Yeah.
The other one's like PG-13. I mean, this had a lot of more than one. You know, PG-13, you get one F-bomb. This thing had numerous.
Yeah.
So,
definitely like kicking in high gear even in season 5 right now. I'm like just impressed that they've been able to maintain it. But again, just I hope they have an exit strategy for this, because like nothing this good can last forever.
Yeah.
And like even if they want to keep pursuing it, I think like at least a break at some point would be warranted.
Yeah, you
like,
don't want to overstay your welcome.
End this, and if you got more ideas, maybe bank them for a little bit and like give us a little bit of a reprieve, because
Breaking Bad is the Dark Souls of television in the sense that everything gets compared to it. I'm sorry, but it is one of the only shows.
Just rewatched it, by the way.
Hell yeah. It's one of the only shows that goes out on top. It was at peak quality.
Oh man, I'm asking you this question then.
It was at peak viewership and peak popularity.
Okay.
People came into it late as the seasons went on. Like, It was the highest viewed season ever, and it was the last. Like, they could have kept it going, and it's like, no, artistic integrity. This is a natural ending, natural conclusion to wrap this up. So hopefully Cobra Kai has the same restraint, and
yeah, for sure
they do the same.
My 2 quick questions were, I mean, these might not be quick, but like one, I mean, when you said on top, I thought you meant also like content wise. Obviously, Breaking Bad popularity and everything, but like the biggest debate always comes down to like should Ozymandias have been like the ending or whatever. Like everyone's.
I mean, I always treat the finale as an epilogue, and I love that. You know what I mean? I love having like this conclusion to the current events, and then like, okay, give us the aftermath. So I kind of view it as a two-part.
Let me ask you this: if they did end on Ozymandias and we didn't get the Granite State in the finita, do you think El Camino would have served as like a good because everyone would probably complain about Jesse, like, well, that's how Jesse ends, like. Yeah. Maybe El Camino goes a little bit harder into some of the stuff we saw in the last 2 episodes with him and like Todd and the white supremacist, and then like him, getting away.
We got to put a Breaking Bad spoiler on the top of this thing, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, this is spoiler for everything.
Yeah.
The world, man. Yeah. The other thing I want to say is Odenkirk definitely in the season 5 and 4 of Breaking Bad. Yeah. Definitely the Saul persona was where it needed to be. Season 2 is a little iffy for me.
Sure.
Where it is in Better Call Saul.
Sure.
Because Better Call Saul is a prequel. I was like, this is a little off for me. Season 2 Saul is like rewatch. I'm like,
doesn't sync up.
It's not quite right. And then a little bit of iffiness with me with Ehrmantraut and Gus stuff.
Okay.
Based on everything that happened in Better Call Saul and what plays out towards the end of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Slight weirded, like it didn't seem quite as natural, some of Mike's things, especially Mike and Saul stuff, specifically in season 5. I'm like, like I feel like something else needed to happen here why Mike's acting this way. Anyway, we won't go any. Sorry, love this. We got to end here because we've now like gone off the rails and like that. But relevant in that like we would like that
we wanted to.
We want Cobra Kai to go out like that as well and not start the downward spiral. It's like
I know they start talking about movies and spinoffs and like It is such a double-edged sword. It's such a double-edged sword because you don't want your beloved thing to end. It is such a comfort when it is on, and I love this universe and I love these characters. But the more of something there is, the less special it becomes, the less impactful. I mean, when this season dropped, Damiani, it's like a big deal. When Stranger Things hit after all that time, it's like, yo. It's on. I've got these episodes to watch. Like I told you, this season, each episode was longer and it felt richer. That I only watched one at a time until the very end. I watched the last 2 together.
I watched the last.
Yeah, I watched the last 2.
I watched the last 3 pretty much.
Okay.
Well, 2.5. I got halfway through the episode 8 and watched the last 2 like immediately after that. Yeah.
Because just each one I watched was so meaningful and it made me so full. And I was like, okay, I've waited a year for this. Like, I don't want this to be over in 2 or 3 days. I want this to last like this is my Cobra Kai week, dude. Yep. Like I'm ready for this. Whereas when it's on all the time, or there's a movie and a spinoff here and a spinoff there again, it's
not Marvel.
They're
not doing Marvel with this. But when they say cinematic universe for Cobra Kai or Karate Kid, that's where your mind starts going, right?
You don't want. Like
worried.
We criticize as Marvel, and it's like in those early phases, it was like. You get like 2 movies a year. That was awesome. It was like a big deal. And now it's just like every week, every month, every week. So it's like routine rather than like a special thing.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's also good because the show season 5 did wildly well for Netflix. Like most viewed, and at least in North America, it was. So like, still has that staying power.
Yeah.
I guess they technically said season 6 hasn't been officially greenlit by Sony and Netflix, but like they're saying like it's pretty much a formality, but like the ink hasn't dried on the paper yet or something. So like we'll say more when we can officially say more. I
know. Usually with TV, I don't know how streaming works, and this is an old insight. Usually people would sign deals for 3 to 5 seasons. So after a season 5, there's like new contract negotiation. That's just speculation. I know traditionally that's how it used to be back in the day, 3 to 5 seasons. So who knows? This was on YouTube for 2 seasons. Then it came to Netflix on season 3. So maybe they did a 3-season, seasons 3 through 5. Could be some business just going down there, and the height of its popularity. I mean, everyone wants to get paid here.
insane to start out as a YouTube series, like YouTube Red whole thing, and then like YouTube letting that get away from them, but like whatever. So like savoring the stuff, like Netflix rumors that they might go to a not binge format anymore, might go to a weekly. So like, hey, maybe that comes around season 6 Cobra Kai. Maybe you have to watch it one a week.
I kind of liked the hybrid thing that they did with Stranger Things and The Sandman. The Sandman did it as well. They added an episode like a month later. I kind of like that. And like you were saying with the final season, if they do 2 parts, that'd be really nice. Here's 8 episodes and then wait like just 4 months or 4 months, have 8 more. That'd be sick.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, might be a while before we come back to talk about Cobra Kai. Might be about a year, but like, hey, I would like them. Whoa!
The last little note.
Here we go.
Damn you, Netflix! They spoiled me.
Whoa, what?
Minor spoiler, but they spoiled me, man.
Oh no!
I'm just scrolling through Twitter.
Oh no!
I've seen 7 episodes at this point. There's so much TV on right now. There's so much to do. Our lives are busy. Netflix has the audacity from their own account, which I don't think I even follow. Someone probably liked it. It showed up.
Oh, no.
They were like, the biggest betrayal of the season.
Oh.
And it was the damn Miyagi-Do kid that turncoated.
Oh.
What the hell is his name? Penis Breath.
Yeah, it's he's on the list here. I look at this list.
Penis Breath.
Yeah.
Turncoat. So what are you doing, Netflix? Like, I get you need to keep the conversation going, but there's like less spoilery ways. I mean, that shit,
I think it's Mitch.
That shit went down in the finale. Like, give it some time. Talk about things earlier on in the season. So on episode 7, it's like the big training episode. Like, I was watching him. I was like, okay, he's a turncoat. I'm watching you, dude. And he kept like asking questions. He was like, oh, what's the plan? Oh, what's the plan? What are we gonna do?
So you're like,
so I was like, dude, Netflix, what the hell, man? Like, it wasn't a big deal.
But that reveal, like, how did he know?
Yeah.
When they said, how do you know where we were? I'm like, well, no shit, there were cameras in there. How did they not know?
Yeah.
So I didn't see but someone like told them. And then like when he walks over and pulls off the thing, I was like, what?
Yeah. So I got, I didn't get that.
It was a little.
Could have been worse. Wasn't a huge deal. But again, it just part of our spoiler culture society. It's insane when they spoil it themselves. You know what I mean? Like Walking Dead's final season did the same thing where they like announce spin-offs for the future. And it's like, well, your final season's not over, so and they're already gonna spin off. So you're telling me they're gonna live and they have plot armor now? It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's all just for the.
You gotta be ambiguous with those announcements, man. So you can't comment who it's about, where it takes place, when it takes place. Just we got one in the works. That's all.
Right. Yeah. And the business, the brand manager side of me knows it's like, hey, you got to keep the conversation and the algorithms going, whatever. But.
Yep.
Kind of annoying.
Well, we'll see when we'll be back. Would be really nice if the announcement of season 6, they confirm like when it's going to end. If it's season 6 or if they're going to go more, maybe put an end date. I hope the next major announcement puts like announcement of the next season and when this show is ending.
Yeah.
Because it puts so much more, it heightens the anticipation. It's already a good like wait, but like we know for Stranger Things, next season is it. Whenever it happens, that is the end. So it's like I like that knowledge. I'm sure they'll communicate that. So like looking forward to knowing, and you and I think are like we feel like this next season needs to like wrap it up. Like it's where we're going.
The fact that Stranger Things is going out after what was that, season 5 for them?
Yeah, this will be so season 6 will be the last for them as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, this was 4. Season 5 will be the last
good
for
on
them. Sorry.
Good on them. Like that shows vision. To me, it shows that they have a plan. They're not flying by the seat of their pants. So I do love that.
Well, thank you, everyone. Oh, wait.
I don't want to stop.
You just want to stop? What do you got?
Now, last thing.
Okay,
Now that Terry is down and Kreese is out and Miyagi Fang has all the students, we talked about it for just a second, and the World Tournament is on the stage, what do you foresee happening there? Do you think Silver and Kreese will become an uneasy alliance? Do you think Kreese will try to be with Miyagi Fang? Do you think they'll start their own thing again and they'll just get a bunch of random students and join the world tournament?
Kreese will either be able to recruit a small team or whatever, but like he can't go. That's the thing. He's not allowed to participate because they're
it has
dojo.
to be Cobra Kai.
So I feel like he's gonna probably try and like either get to a few of the students again or like shadow them there.
Yeah.
Like he'll try and get involved in some way.
Yeah.
Or maybe something locally, they'll resolve it before they even get to that. So they'll either resolve it before they get to the tournament, or he's gonna like have some role to play in the tournament where he's not necessarily has his own team.
Yeah.
It's like
he's like a consultant or something.
or he's reluctantly.
That dude, honestly, I would like it if he didn't really have a stake in it all, except for Tori. Like if he went there solely to support her and like mentor her and just like be a father figure for her as she's competing in this world tournament, I think that'd be a really nice conclusion for them and a big
possibly
that'd be sick.
I definitely feel the big antagonist thing will be one of the teams will have like some history with like Miyagi-Do, not like Mr. Miyagi and his like the family side. Like I think there might be like some skeletons in the closet that might come out. Like like that would have to possibly be it. Dude. I think that's where you go.
You're so right. You got to end with some Miyagi hype.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Huber. Always a pleasure.
Always.
And we'll see you on the next spoiler mode.